Hi all, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing the Isthmian League predictions yet again because I enjoyed it so much last time, and there's just so much going on in the Isthmian League at the moment at both the top and the bottom of the table. Of course, we already know Folkestone won the league, but on the bank holiday Monday it was also confirmed that Canvey Island were relegated from the Isthmian Premier Division, so commiserations to them. Relegations are so tough. They really are. Dartford obviously experiencing one for the first time in a while a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I feel for them. But we've, on screen, got all our fixtures for the upcoming game week, round 40, all being played on the 11th of April. And as I say, there is still lots to play for at both ends of the table. So let's get into it. Let's get the first one out the way. The first game of the weekend is Burgess Hill taking on Cheshire. Now, Burgess Hill take nothing away from them. They are 6 points off the playoff. The chance of them making the playoffs is, for me personally, just non-existent. It's just not going to happen. But a fantastic first season. Cheshire, on the other hand, looks like they'll be finishing mid-table this year. But this game for me, Burgess Hill at home, you've still got to believe you can do it. If they win all three games and two teams were to bottle it, then you never know. But the problem is, it's even the fact that Burgess Hill are on a -3 goal difference. So it's incredibly unlikely, but I'm going to back them to win this weekend. And I'm going to go Burgess Hill 2, Cheshire 0. On to the second game. And this big one, as you can see by the Dartford shirt in the background. This is a big one for me, and one I'm 100 expecting to win. Because at the start of this video, we mentioned Canvey Island are relegated, and obviously Dartford are travelling away to relegated at Canvey Island. Does that make it better or worse? I'm not too sure. I think a bit worse because they now almost have nothing to play for. So sometimes that really massively takes the pressure off. Who knows? But if you take Billericay out of the equation, in our last 6 games, Dartford are the best based on form. So there's no doubt in my mind that we've got a good chance of going there, getting points. We've got our forward players on form against a very weak Canvey Island side who've conceded loads of goals this year. Dan Smith looks really good. Ollie Box back in amongst the goals in a fantastic 3-2 win over our rivals for that playoff position, Chatham. So for me, it's only going one way. I still got that, bit of a shaky feeling that Dartford do like to concede one. But I think it's going to be a 3-1 away win for Dartford versus Canvey Island. So let's move on. We have a Carshalton taking on Brentwood. We're keeping our head in that playoff section just to start this. Obviously, Carshalton are the home side and they are fighting relegation. But Brentwood, of course, a fantastic win against our rivals Welling on the weekend. 2-0 was an absolutely fantastic result for them. A win they massively needed coming off the back of 3 games straight without a win. Obviously, I was a bit disappointed. I became a massive Welling fan just for that one game day against Brentwood, but it wasn't to be. But the thing we know about Carshalton is last year they had a fantastic season. It's been a really underwhelming season for them. They are fighting relegation, so they themselves have still got so much to play for. They managed to take a point of us late the other week. I don't think it will be a walk in the park for Brentwood, but I am going to back them to get it done, which is such a shame. I hope they don't, obviously. But for the sake of this video, I want to think in my head. I think they're going to go there, be up for it, coming off the back of a really healthy 2-0 win against Welling. So for me, it's going to be a bit more misery for Carshalton. They're going to have to wait a bit longer to try and confirm their safety in the Isthmian Premier Division. And I'm going to back Brentwood to win 2-1 away. They're going to do what we do, I think, but hold on and not concede that late goal. After that, we've got Chatham taking on Wingate and Finchley. Of course, Chatham are now coming off the back of 2 straight losses. Mind you, they have had to play Dartford and Aveley, I believe it was. Was it Aveley? Someone's going to have to remind me. I believe it was Aveley at home. So they are going to be a bit low on confidence. And it doesn't matter what you say, their fans are going to be twitching a bit, especially playing a Wingate and Finchley side who got another win over the weekend. Restrepo scoring again. That guy is really good. I'm surprised that guy hasn't made the jump up yet. But of course, Wingate and Finchley are unbeaten in their last 3 fixtures. So it is going to be no walk in the park. And I really want someone in that top spot above us to go and lose. But I think Chatham being at home to Wingate and Brentwood being away to Carshalton, who obviously aren't looking too fantastic at the moment. Sadly, I'm going to have to back Chatham to win again, and I think they're going to get a squeaky 1-0 win, which will be gutting. But you know, we've got to try and be honest on this channel, not just go for everything Dartford related. Moving on, we've got Cray Wanderers. Cray are taking on Lewes. Lewes have had a very, very, very poor season, which is, again, another team that Dartford have dropped humongous points to, losing 1-0 away in the 90th plus 6th minute. We love conceding late. We love conceding late. Nonetheless, Lewes do come off the back of a fantastic win against Whitehawk. Of course, a bit of a East Sussex derby there, which is fantastic. But Cray Wanderers, they are in near on exactly the same position as Burgess Hill. 6 points off those players. It's very unlikely. They're coming off the back of a fantastic Derby Day win against Cray Valley Paper Mills, where they won 2-1 away. Maybe not a nothing game. I mean, Lewis probably still need just 1 or 2 more points to confirm safety. But for me, it's a bit of a nothing game, and a game that I think Cray Wanderers at home will probably win comfortably. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Cray Wanderers win. Moving on, this one is fantastic. This is, as you can see on the fixtures list, Hashtag United 19th place, taking on 20th place Cray Valley. What a fantastic fixture this is lined up to be. Cray Valley have found a bit of form. Obviously, we mentioned they lost to Cray Wanderers. It would have been disappointed, but before that, they came off the back of 2 straight wins. So this Cray Valley side that were in the playoff semi-finals last year, that lost it in those dying moments, now fighting and scrapping for relegation. Obviously, Hashtag are wanting voluntary relegation anyway, so are they going to be massively up for this? I'm not overly sure. Who knows? But let's just get to the point. Let's get to the prediction. I am going to back Cray Valley Paper Mills to go and win this one. And I'm going to back them to win it narrowly with just a 1-0 win. Maybe a Shomerton goal again, like he scored against Cray Wanderers on the weekend. Moving on. We have Potters Bar. Potters Bar are taking on Chichester. Chichester, although they sit 12th in the league and are safe, their form in recent weeks has just been absolutely appalling. Of course, Potters Bar not yet relegated, but a loss on the weekend to Cheshire, 4-1 away. It all but confirms it, especially as someone out of Cray Valley or Hashtag will pick up points. I know Welling are also, in that bracket there on 38 points as well, but let's be real, Potters Bar, sadly for them, they will be joining Cray Valley. They'll be joining Canvey Island this weekend, I'm sure of it, which is, a shame. I could keep saying it over and over. Yet another team Dartford have dropped massive points to, 1-0 away. It's like the story of our season. But to the point, Potters Bar taking on Chichester. I'm going to back Potters Bar to get something out of it, but I think it's going to be a very low scoring, very boring 1-1 draw there. So, right, we've got about 4 more left. We are 66% of the way there. Next up, we've got Ramsgate taking on Billericay. Now, Ramsgate, we won't focus on too much. They're 10th in the league. They are safe, and chances of making playoffs are, not yet impossible, but I think they will become impossible after this weekend. Billericay, on the other hand, of course, form has been spectacular. Don't need to talk about it. If you follow the Isthmian League, you know how good Billericay have been over the last few months, really. They started so slow and they've just boomed. Yet another win on the weekend against Canvey, who they relegated, of course. They didn't make it easy, but they got the job done with a 3-2 win at home. Of course, teams like, Dartford, Chatham, Brentwood, they're not miles behind Billericay. It's not impossible, but for me, I'm still backing Billericay to probably go and be that second side. They will want to win every game they can and try and get that second spot, because of course then if they win the playoff semi-finals, they'll get the home draw in the finals. So it's a big game for them, a game that I'm backing them to go away and win very narrowly, because that's not an easy game. Ramsgate do create some interesting games with lots of goals in them. So I'm actually going to go for Billericay 3-2-1 win again. So Ramsgate 2, Billericay 3. Moving on, we've got St Albans taking on Aveley. Don't need to touch on it too much. St Albans coming off the back of 3 straight losses now. Really poor season for them. Their fans to be uber disappointed, but there's no need to dwell on it. They're going to be in the Isthmian League for another year and hoping to improve, and I expect them to improve next year personally. But Aveley, it's a must-win. They need to, keep picking up points in games like this against out-of-form St Albans sides if they want to just keep Billericay on their tails, and make sure that they're the team that are playing their playoff final at home if they get there, of course, at Parkside. So, yeah, for me, I know Aveley have got to go away. I know over the bank holiday weekend, they got 2 fantastic wins, really. I know is hashtag a rival? Not really, is it? They just ground share. But yeah, they got a win against hashtag, a win against Chatham. They're on good form against an out-of-form St Albans side. It's going one way. You can hear it the more I talk about it. I'm going to go for an Aveley 1-0 win against St Albans away. So we've got 2 more fixtures. Next one's a big one in the relegation clash. It is Welling at Parkview Road at home taking on Dulwich Hamlet FC. Dulwich are, very similar to Ramsgate Spot. They're 9th in the league, 56 points. Another year in the Isthmian League, comfortable, nothing really to fight for. But of course, Welling are fighting like anything. They've done really, really well in the last 5 games to pick up 10 points. That's fantastic. That is, their recent form is the only reason they've dragged themselves out of those relegation spots. But hashtag play Cray Valley. One of them will be picking up points. So a loss for Welling this weekend would sink them back into that relegation zone. But Welling, in the last few weeks, they've picked up form. They've looked really, really, really good. So with that being said, as much as I wish they did us a favour against Brentwood and got their points then, I think they may go and win this one 1-0. A really scrappy game is what I'm expecting, because they will not want to be conceding and going back into that relegation zone, will they? So last game, it is a tiny bit of a nothing game. It is Whitehawk at home taking on Folkestone. Look, Whitehawk, not a great season, nothing really to celebrate about. Obviously they're miles off the relegation spots. They're taking on a Folkestone side that have won the league. But the thing I will say that's interesting about Folkestone is that with the 3 games left, and if they get all 9 points, they'll hit the 100 points tally, and I think they'll want to go for that. I really do. I think that's a nice milestone to hit, and they've got players with bags of talents. Hutchinson scoring another 2 on the weekend. He's had a phenomenal season. Overall, they've all had a phenomenal season. They're paying their players good money, I'm sure of it as well. So yeah, long-winded way of putting it is Folkestone are going to go away and I think comfortably win 2-0. So there you go. There is all my predictions for the upcoming Isthmian Premier Division game week 40 games. Yeah, let me know your predictions for, even if you don't want to do them all, just let me know the prediction for the game you're watching on the weekend or the team you support. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I pray that Chatham or Brentwood drop some major points, we beat Canvey, and that we either go this much off the playoffs or get ourselves into them, because we are running out of time. Thanks for watching. Come on, you darts.